Welcome, one and all, to the K.O.E. Nation for a very special store pick spirit review, folks. I am your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E., the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower. And I am joined this evening by my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
the 16-time Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast champion, non-chill filtered, quadruple distilled, your blend master, ceremony himself, Tony fucking G.
So T, what do we got here, sir?
We've got what I hope is going to be absolutely delectable in a very, very naughty way. We've got Woodford Reserve Double Oaked Store Pick, and this particular comes from Louie's Liquor here in Nebraska.
Louie Liquor!
Batch C.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, couldn't help myself.
Didn't figure.
Aye.
So we are on record as
being big fans.
Yeah, let's put it lightly. Big fans of Woodford Double Oak Store Picks. I anticipate this one being absolutely perfect. I have high expectations, and this was just acquired very recently, so we're rushing to it because
now, yeah, because we got some bottles we've been waiting 2 years to get to a review.
Oh.
Yeah, well, hey, 4. Now, interestingly enough, that's good. The other day, I was talking to a business associate of mine, and he's just got an office, the whole 9 yards. And he likes to have a bourbon late in the evening if he's talking business with his partners. And he wanted to know what would be a good, and I told him, Woodford Reserve Double Oak, especially a store pick, mostly because this will fit into most corporate desk drawers. That's a consideration. Like, big tall bottles, you can't do that. This will fit in a corporate desk drawer. And that was why I recommended that for him, because it's just perfect for that particular application and the midnight rumination. Okay. Think about how many times you've been ruminating, thinking about something at around midnight. Woodford Double Oak is not a bad pick for that.
Absolutely not. There's so much to like about this. A lot of flavor goes into these picks, so I've yet to be disappointed by one.
Oh, that's delicious on the nose.
Holy hell.
All sweetness and kind of like, not molasses, but like maple syrup.
God, did I say, they had a flavor profile. Let me see if I can find it. Louie's Liquor Batch C, Woodford Double Oak.
Tony's doing a Star Trek computer. Find me this.
I took a picture of it in the store, but I can't find it.
Send it to me and I'll edit it on your postscript in that way that you love so much.
Yeah, I don't, but we'll get there. So this
I'm gonna put it something over your face now, just as I can.
Wow, this is like butterscotch on the nose.
That's a good one.
Oh, wow. Man.
Cinnamon brown sugar?
Like marshmallow.
I'm not getting marshmallow, but I'm always looking a little too hard for marshmallow and Woodford Double Oak because of that one batch.
It's right here, though. I'm getting the toasted marshmallow.
Maybe I'll get it on the palate, but slanjava.
Yes. Oh, man.
Okay, here's an interesting. All right, coffee, coffee, but espresso.
Yeah,
where they put a lot of cinnamon in it.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's the flavor here.
Wow.
If you're any kind of coffee lover, but you like sweet coffees, basically if you love Starbucks, I would call this Starbucks batch.
Man,
that's just me.
The butterscotch is at the back end of the finish.
I can see that. I didn't really let it touch the back of my tongue much on that first drink.
Oh yeah, a lot of coffee, which I love. Wow, that's delightful. Oh man, I love that. That's a dark roast. Man.
Yeah, that's...
Wow, I love it.
Now, I'm not a huge coffee guy. I think you are.
I do enjoy coffee.
So this one, okay. would this be the proper, or would it be too common to, like, I don't ever spike coffee because I don't drink coffee, but if you were to just put a shot into a cup of coffee, would this be one you would, or would the similarity be too...
It's not like it would enhance the coffee if that's what you're asking, because it's got so much coffee.
I mean, yeah.
But it would work. I mean, it would...
It's kind of like sometimes when you mix, like, sweet lickers with something sweet, it kind of overdoes it, if that
it
makes
either
sense.
overdoes it or it does nothing. And I think that's what this would do with coffee. It would do nothing. You might as well dump a plain Jane bourbon in.
Okay.
Because this is meant to be enjoyed as is.
Yes. I would also say an ice ball.
Yeah, you could. This is a 45.2 ABV, so 90.4 proof. It's not overwhelming, which, I could go a little higher on the proof. I could, but it's not necessary because it's very, very good as is.
I was about to say,
wow,
its commonality and proof lets you try different flavors.
Yeah.
And to be frank, okay, like for what I said, if this is like an evening gathering, like a corporate gathering, you don't want the 138 proof whatever, okay?
Right.
You want something with a little bit of bite on it and some good flavor, okay?
Okay.
And that's how I look at it. Now, I know that's kind of a weird use, but think of how many business transactions and business meetings in this country happen at like 11:30 at night in an office over maybe one or two drinks.
Okay.
That happens a lot more than anyone in any corner of corporate America wants to admit. Okay? Like, I don't think I'm... So, a bottle like this is perfect because, again, it fits in the desk. And you can sneak it in a suitcase. Look at that. That's slim enough to fit in a suitcase.
That's true.
So, you can get it into your desk quite discreetly, and then at 11:30 at night, you and somebody can have... And, guess what? Sometimes the guy who's got the bottle is the guy who is there for the 11:30 meeting he needed to be at. It happens. So, not to be construed as actual legal advice, but not to be construed as actual career advice, also. But, spectacular stuff. Woodford Reserve Double Oak, I have yet to have one I don't like. I've had a few that didn't overwhelm me.
Okay.
But that's about it. But this one is... Well, they're all like special little snowflakes, Tony. Pouring yourself another one?
I am.
I wonder if the people at home will be able to see WrestleMania in your glasses.
They probably could.
Which, that's too funny. Now, Tony, we get to a very difficult part this evening, and that is the grading. We're going to grade everything on a 5-star scale. 5 meaning you have to have it before you shuffle off this mortal coil. 0 meaning pass it on by. The K.O.E. Nation has advised you well. So we're going to grade this as a Woodford release, as a bourbon, as a whiskey, as a cask-aged spirit. It's shelving. And for those new to the K.O.E. Nation, the secret 6th question. T in Hollywood and showbiz, that's called a hook. Yeah. Pull them in with the hook. So, as a Woodford Reserve release, I think it's fair to say we tried 1 or 2 of these, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna go 4 stars of Woodford.
I'll go 3.75. Okay, there's a lot of good stuff out there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to stick with 3.75, but not a bad. I understand where you're coming from, because this one,
it hits my alley.
I was about to say, I'm more of the sweet, and there is sweet here.
Oh yeah.
But there's all these earthy coffee flavors that are also there. That's a little bit more up your alley. So I'm gonna go with 3.75 now as a bourbon.
As a bourbon, I'm only gonna go 3 stars as a bourbon.
Only gonna go 3.
Yeah, like the coffee is undeniable here. And believe it or not all bourbon lovers love coffee, yourself included. So that's going to be hard to look past for some people.
I was going to go 3.75, but you talked me into 3.5. Okay, I'm going to go I like this stuff. But like you said, its coffee flavor is a little individual. Got a little bourbon in the old cookie duster there. I just always loved it when Ned Flanders in Simpsons referred to his mustache as a cookie duster. So, but anyways, let's see. Now we move on to whiskey.
Whiskey. This is I'm gonna go 425. It's a whiskey. This is remarkable stuff. Man, you could drink this on ice. We talked about it already. You could mix it. I wouldn't, but man, this is really nice stuff. It's got the right amount of sweet. I mean, you could do about anything with this.
Yeah, this with a Barks root beer.
Yeah.
Or a Sunset or a Sioux City sarsaparilla, not Sunset sarsaparilla.
Yeah,
that would be spectacular. Crushed ice, tall glass, crushed ice. I would say 2 parts sarsaparilla, 1 part bourbon. However many you're making for however many people. That would be the ideal mix for this. It'll bite a little bit, but so yeah, as a whiskey, yeah, 4 stars. Now, as a cask aged spirit, I'm gonna go ahead and say 425.
I'm going to agree, 425.
Because these are always art and cask aging, and they're always
no different.
Yeah, the juice is usually worth the squeeze with these folks. And I always say it's your best value because you're spending a little bit of money, but you're actually getting something really good. Like I said, you're talking about some real life stuff with somebody. You pull out a bottle of that and you discuss it over the evening.
Yeah, this is a bottle that really could go for hundreds.
I'm glad it doesn't.
I am too. Yeah, the Double Oak store picks are a bargain.
Yeah.
Just
in
like
the world
makers,
of whiskey,
makers and Double Oaks.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
Those are your best.
Yeah,
ones.
you're spending some money, but what you're getting is great.
Yeah.
Now we move on to shelving.
The top shelf for me.
I always have a hard time putting the Double Oaks on a top shelf. This one would be middle shelf just because it doesn't hit my particular tastes, but I could understand putting it on the top shelf.
Okay.
If I had an empty top shelf, that'd go there. So at least I know there's something good up there when I grab it. So now we move on to the secret 6th question. When this bottle runs empty, will you seek another one?
I would, absolutely. That's a lovely batch. And, it's not to say it would be available anyway, because there might be another batch.
I'll say that Louie's Liquor, you definitely intrigue me. Okay, I will definitely, if I see one of your batches available somewhere, I would definitely consider it. So I will say that. Because like you said, these store picks are so hard to get an exact replica of what you got before.
Yeah, for sure.
But, spectacular stuff. Woodford Reserve, you've done it again. So folks, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us here at the K.O.E. Nation for this very special review of this Spirit Store pick, folks. I am your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E., the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man, the mixer of the podcast cower, the prince and potentate of the political parlance. One handsome man, if I do say so myself. You can, of course, find me on K.O.E. Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter, and also our new show, Hazard Analysis, right there, folks. You can see it right there. Go right there. Otherwise, the algorithm tries to bury it, so go right there. Okay, folks? I am signing off and handing it off to my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only.
I am just simply Tony G. Linktree /Tony the Rod for all of my socials and platforms. Thanks for joining us. See you on the next one.